Tomb of Annihilation Set number 2 contains, of course, some important allies and villains from the adventure, but this box in particular has 5 minis that could be really fun PCs or NPCs for whatever adventure you're running. Man, minis are expensive, especially these days, so if you have the opportunity to reuse them sometimes, I say go for it. When I first got started, the same dozen minis showed up as different characters across multiple sessions, multiple campaigns, and game systems. So I wanted to ask you, do you have a mini that has surprisingly ended up being an MVP for your gaming table? Let me know in the comment section down below. I know I got a ton of use out of my Bandit minis and my Townsfolk minis in particular. And you know what I've noticed too? The minis that I painted myself tend to show up the most. I wonder why that is. But if you are playing this campaign, or plan to, then you're going to want to see this set. So let's get right to it. Make sure you have your Last Will and Testament in order as we explore Tomb of Annihilation Set number 2. Before we jump in, if you're looking to try out an innovative new TTRPG, our sponsor Hit Point Press has a fantastic one that I've gotten to play, and now you can try it out for free. It's called Shift. It is a minimal rule, character-centric system. Instead of ability scores, your talents are represented by individualized traits that have an associated die from a D4 up to a D12. A roll of a 1, 2, or 3 is a success no matter what die is rolled. So for your best traits, you're going to be rolling a D4, and for your worst ones, you're going to be rolling a D12. But a crit success or a crit failure means that your associated die shifts up or down. So if you get a 4 on that D4, a crit fail, that die becomes a D6 until you rest or recover in another way, like by rolling a 1 on it. It is an extremely dynamic system that makes every die roll feel electric. If you want to try it out, just visit the link in the doohickey down below to download their free quick start guide, and let me know what you think of it in the comments section. That is Shift by Hit Point Press. We are starting out with a pretty high-profile D&D character, Artus Cimber. He was the central character in the 1992 Forgotten Realms book, The Ring of Winter, which was part of the Harper series. It tells of his quest to track down the legendary artifact known as the Ring of Winter somewhere in the jungles of Chult. The novel serves as basically a prequel to Tomb of Annihilation, so if you have the chance to read it, I think it'll give you more context for the adventure and a good sense of how to bring Chult alive for your players. He's also an elusive presence in Storm King's Thunder. He also had a mini in that main TOA booster set. Artist has a CR 7 stat block that does feature the Ring of Winter. Dragonbait was also a recurring character in the Forgotten Realms novels, partly as a traveling companion for Artus Cimber in Chult. If you're a fan of those old D&D novels, this adventure really does feel like a homecoming. And if Dragonbait's species looks a little different than other Dragonborn or lizard folk, that's because he's a Sauriel, not to be confused with the Surin from Spelljammer, though both species are from off-world. Dragonbait, interestingly, communicates via scent. I recommend filling up various spray bottles with diluted essential oils and spraying your players in the face each time they have a roleplay session with Dragonbait. He has a CR of 5 and a mini in the previous set as well. Old Venerable Tabaxi often go on a pilgrimage to Omu, the ruined city that will eventually track the PCs in Chult. Bag of Nails here was one of 3 elderly Tabaxi who currently stalk the city for dangerous prey like dinosaurs and other jungle beasts. Bag of Nails has started to lose his faculties and attacks everyone nowadays, though he's still a formidable hunter with a CR of 8. There are quite a few Tabaxi in this adventure, so you'll probably want at least a handful of Tabaxi minis. Young Princess Mwaxanaré is the oldest living descendant of the royal families of Omu, and thus the heir to the kingdom which has since fallen, though she still believes herself to be a queen and treats everyone as such. She's been sheltered her entire life by a group of Aarakocra who are hoping to reinstall her as the Queen of Chult once the evil in Omu has been dealt with, which is where the PCs come in. Mwaxanaré, though, lacking any context of the greater world, has been able to develop some minor magical powers for herself, giving her a CR of 1/8. Her only human companion is her younger brother, Prince Na. He's really only known Aarakocra his entire life and basically considers himself to be one, speaking Aran rather than common and hoping to one day learn how to fly. He's bookish, studious, polite, soft-spoken, and deferential, all qualities that his sister lacks, though he's aghast at any suggestions that he might make a better ruler than her. He is a non-combatant. We've gotten quite a few Yuan-Ti minis over the years. This one in particular would be really good at that Wednesday Addams dance. She is a nightmare speaker, a Yuan-Ti Malison who has made a pact with Dendar the Night Serpent to feed the deity their victims terror in exchange for power. They are some of the cruelest Yuan-Ti out there, and that's saying something, frequently taking slaves and torturing prisoners to sow fear, which they then harvest. She has a CR of 4 with an updated simplified stat block in Monsters of the Multiverse. Albino dwarves live above ground in the jungle or in the city of Port Nyanzaru after being driven from their subterranean homes by volcanic activity. Instead of metalworking, they're trained in crafting with organic materials such as dinosaur hide and bone, wood, feathers, and tusks. The heroes will meet several albino dwarves on their adventures, but there's one who will offer their services as a guide for the PCs. His name is Musharib. An albino dwarf warrior has a CR of 1/4, and a spirit warrior like Musharib has a CR of 1. Some of our 5e adventures are really well supported with minis at this point. Storm King's Thunder and Curse of Strahd particularly come to mind, and I think you might add Tomb of Annihilation to that list now, though the adventure could probably do with another pack or two to fill out the various jungle guides and adversaries. When comparing the old and new Artus Cimber and Dragonbait minis like we did earlier, I think you can tell how far we've come in mass production mini painting. For folks who are critical of the paint jobs on modern minis, I do want to remind you that we're magnifying them several times over in our videos here. And with modern high-resolution cameras, you can really see all the flaws, which is why I urge you to also check out the minis from more of a distance when we show you the full set lineups and the minis in action on our dungeon terrain like this. In your games, you're going to be seeing these minis from a hefty distance 99% of the time. Now, this set can also be a good collection of unique PC minis like I mentioned earlier, and we have very few child minis, but generally we don't really need them if we're using our minis mainly for combat. But if you're like me and you like to populate your town square sets with a wide variety of commoners, the Prince and Princess here would be nice additions to that set. Here you can see both Tomb of Annihilation sets together to get a better sense of the scale. I'm really pleased with both sets, and it does make me slightly want to play this adventure, but man, the list of adventures that I want to run is getting really long, and I don't have time to run any of them right now. You can see our full Tomb of Annihilation full set review in the eye in the corner of your screen up there. I'll talk more about the main adventure that I do want to run in my upcoming holiday gift guide coming very soon here. Tomb of Annihilation Set number 2 is expected in December 2022 for between $45 and $50. Let me know what you think of it in the comment section down below. Don't forget to check out the free Shift Quick Start Guide too at the link in the doohickey down below to get a head start on the next hot game. And be sure you're subscribed to the channel here to see our upcoming gift guide, which I am trying to finish as quickly as possible. I am still playing catch up from all the travel I had to do over the last few months, but if you do want to pick up some cuddly kobolds, they are all en route to their various warehouses for distribution. They aren't going to arrive to their new forever homes by Christmas, I think, but they should be there by January for most folks. You can pre-order right now, though. Our first manufacturing run was pretty small, so if you had your eyes on any of them in particular, you may want to pre-order to make sure that you're able to get it, as we're not sure when we'll be manufacturing more. And be sure you come and join us on your social media service of choice, which you can see right here. And until next time, please take care, have fun, love each other, and I will see you next time at the Gallant Goblin.